Hello, this is Diane Westerfield with another video on finding empirical articles. This is specifically for education, but other social sciences fields might be able to get something out of this. So I will share my screen. We're on the Tut Library homepage, which you can get to by clicking this Tut Library link up here, or it's just coloradocollege.edu/library. You can see there's a number of different links here in the middle. The screen will default to one search, but as we click books and media, journals, research guides, you can see that things change. For education, where we want to go is subject guides, then education. Here's our education guide. Lots of self-help type information, how to contact the library. Where we want to go is find articles. This is a pulled out list of databases and other tools that would be useful for finding articles. OneSearch is a huge pot of resources, including EBSCO databases, journal packages. It has the library catalog. It does not have everything that we subscribe to, but it has a lot of it. Because it's so huge, you might find it overwhelming. And sometimes if you're searching within a specific discipline, it's better to go to the databases that are specific to your discipline. So Education Source is a big one. ERIC is a free government database that EBSCO partially covers. And you can search these EBSCOhost databases together. So I'm just going to click this link. Now we can see that we're searching Education Source and ERIC. Let's see, motivation. So we search for just one term, pretty simple one. You can see we get a huge amount of results. We can limit to scholarly journals. That takes us down to 90,000. We can change this to 2010, or we could use the slider bar. Now we're down to 47,000. And always check and make sure that as you're searching, you're not losing your limiters, because sometimes they disappear. But I can see it's still scholarly journals, 2010 to 2020. So let's add some more search terms in here. So we might say good student. So here's an article right here. What makes a good student? We can click into it. We can see the authors, Journal of Educational Psychology. Here's the date it was published, 2014. Their descriptors is just another term for like subjects. So you can see there's a bunch of subject headings here. And also some keywords. Here's the abstract, which is a summary of the article. So I look at this abstract and I say, uh-oh, theoretical model. But then as I continue reading, it says this model was tested. So the authors did collect their own data, meaning this is an empirical article. So they tell you how many subjects there were, what type of subjects. So 5,805 undergraduate students. They talk a little bit about their measurement tools. In this case, it looks like questionnaires. And then they talk about their findings and the results. And if you want, you can click into this article. And here it is. And if you watch the previous video, you can see, okay, here's the title, journal information, abstract, the authors, they're all from University of Padua. And you can just look through this article and see that here they sort of included an introduction and literature review in the same section. So this doesn't have the exact same headings as what I showed before, but it's pretty much, this is a literature review because you can see all the many citations that they've gone over. We've got our method. Talks about the participants. They're they're undergraduate students, age, let's see, what type of student, like non-working students, temporary jobs, part-time, full-time. So here's the questionnaires and the procedure, the results, and here's the table of their results. So notice how this is breaking up all the giant walls of text. So that is a good visual indicator. Oh, this could be empirical, and in fact it is. Here's another chart. So here's discussion. So they are going to discuss their results. And here's the references or bibliography. And if you found a pretty good article, you could look through their bibliography to see if anything else could be sort of harvested from here that could be a good source for your paper or assignment or thesis. HTML full text. This will lose the pagination. Sometimes it loses the charts and graphs. The one advantage to the HTML plain text is that you can listen to the article being spoken to you by one of three accents. I think it's all men. But if you're an auditory learner, this might be helpful. Now, if you find an article that doesn't have like a PDF full text link or an HTML full text link, and by the way, full text means the actual article, not just information about the article. So full text is just library jargon for the actual article. You can see, for instance, this is the PDF full text link for this article, but there's no PDF or HTML or anything like that. You just have this tut link button. What you should do is click it. And what it does is it goes outside of the EBSCO and looks to see if we have this in another like journal package or something like that. And we do spend a lot of money on these things, so you definitely want to take the chance, click on this link, see if you get it. And even if we don't have access to an article, we can order it through interlibrary loan. Just ask a librarian. The only thing is it does take a couple days. So if you're waiting till the last minute, you know, the last night before the article is due, you're not going to get that article in time. So these are only 6 results, so maybe we want to change this. For instance, thinking like, what makes a good student good? And you might think like, okay, how about student achievement? And notice how there are autofill terms coming up here, which can be very useful or can be very annoying. I put in student achievement. Now, the database will just be searching these words sort of randomly throughout, unless you put quotes around them, and that will force it to search it as a phrase. So without the quotes, it's picking up student or achievement anywhere in the article, and the terms could be far apart. If you put in the quotes, then it's forced to search it as a phrase. And then we could say, for instance, I just want kind of like K through 6 students. Maybe you're not interested in looking at college students for the purposes of the assignment. And here you can see there's autofill here. Okay, this takes us down to 898. And we can use this plus symbol to add even more boxes. And so if you see what I'm doing here, I'm sort of started with a general term, and now I'm adding more terms, sort of narrowing the focus. I added sort of a demographic or population variable, if you will, saying, hey, I just want kindergarten through 6th grade or elementary or primary. And we could even say like empirical or study or research to try to help suss out those articles that are actually empirical. So let's see here. And again, this is the title of the article. These are the authors. Source is usually like the journal title, or if it came from a book, it would be the title of the book. you've got some subjects, and you can look these over, and you could like sit and write stuff down. You may be on a piece of paper getting more ideas like, oh, I want to search this, or this is sort of a synonymous term, so let's make sure I catch like all the different ways that authors might refer to this. There can also be author supplied keywords.